my grandfathers on both my left and right, they both was the children of slaves. I am the great-grandson of slaves. My father and my aunt here and my mother, my father only had a third-grade education because they stopped school to make other people rich. So I want to give honor what it's due as I came tonight, not to make a name for myself, but to give respect to all those that were before me, every freedom fighter from Harriet Tubman and to the very last person who gave their lives for the freedom of African Americans. Now, my third topic today is speaking on the degradation of African Americans. In our system today, we have 6.9 million people in the penal system. The population, the prison population, homelessness, unemployed, they condescend, they transcend their population of 10 different countries. If we could look at some facts and figures today, 6 million people in the penal system, 90% of African Americans, 1.7 million people in prison, African Americans, 585,000 children in foster care, 90% African Americans. We have 2.7 million people that is homeless, unemployed, are African Americans. 356,000 children in foster care, 90% of the population, 585,000. 2.7 million people homeless out of 3 million, and over 3 million people are unemployed. If we put those numbers together today, we will come up with 7,756,000 people are living in degradation. That's including a lot of college grads who's coming from college, have paid the dues, yet they cannot find jobs, adequate, expensive housing, and monopoly in the hiring system. And we look at the population of 12 countries added together. 12 countries, speaking of countries like Iceland, Dominican Republic, Malta, Qatar, Gabon, Gambia, Barbados, Croatia, Bethune, Estonia, Costa Rica, Cyprus. If we add all these 10 countries together, it would only come up to 7,376,000 people from 10 different countries. The total African American living in degradation would transcend them and outnumber them. So what we're saying today, that going to my next topic, is the Luciferian injustice and insurrection system here in the United States. Our driving factors today is books we read from Barnes and Nobles to get facts and data, not from the mouths of just ministers of the gospel, but from professional historians who have taken time to be very analytical to let the world know how America treats its own citizens. We're coming from today books from Howard Zinn, A People History of the United States, and also the Bill of Rights by Art Hill, Reed Omar, the Bill of Rights. We read this book, and recently came out, Jesse Futura, Don't Start the Revolution Without Me. And there's many other books I have there along with the Constitution. Here's another one just came out. I just purchased this book just recently. And this is Brute Bartlett. And he have here today Wrong on Race. So what we're saying today to the world, that the people, African American descent, with a Luciferian prison system, no justice, no conscience, is the way they're mistreating our people. So we're here also to explain the nature of we want our own autonomy. We don't trust you no more, America. We're not seeking the jobs from you anymore. We're not seeking affirmative action. We're not seeking food stamps, welfare, homeless shelters, or nothing else. We need reparation. Regeneration. Now. Okay, I want to read some things that the Conservative Party recently, looking at people like the Fox News, Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, Newt Gingrich, Britt Baer, Rush Limbaugh, and Glenn Beck. Now these people say they're conservative, and what they really mean by, they look at my dictionary, conservative mean they want to keep the old way of the past. The good old white boys, take it all, keep it all, and give nothing back. But I want them to know today, that they are insurrectionists against their own people and their own citizens of this country. How they're violating our First Amendment, they violate our Second Amendment, they violate all the commitments and constitutional rights of African Americans. Moving on to the Constitution of the United States of America, which supposed to have been a very, very articulated, important piece of material. And my daughter going to read some scripture we have outlined to let America know they have not kept their own Constitution. And as this time we can ask her to read some more, she will.
I will be reading the Constitution of the United States. The sacred rights of mankind are not to be rummaged for among old parchments or musty records. They are written as with a sunbeam in the whole volume of human nature by the hand of the divinity itself and can never be erased. The Declaration of Independence, the central document of American political life, codifies the American political creed. To understand it, however, we must know its origin and purpose. The Declaration was the last American word in the argument between Great Britain and its American colonists. In 1763, the British Empire, in the most successful and the freest the world they had ever seen, had no loyal subject than the colonists of the 13 mainland colonies of British North America. Within 2 years, however, the first stirring of disagreement between Britain and the colonists began to disturb peace within the empire. 2 years after the end of the French and Indian War, Britain confronted massive war debts. Convinced with the colonists had a free ride on the backs of British taxpayers, British politicians decided to redress the balance by taxing them, but the colonists protested these taxes are unconstitutional. Page 81 of the same book reads, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. They, whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles, and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that government long established should not be changed for light and transit causes." Page 37 reads, "We the people of the United States, in order to perform a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America."